Don't hide your passion. Don't be annoying about it, but, maintain contacts. I mean, I asked the program director, I'm like, okay, what can I do to be better? And she gave me some tips. I incorporated what she said, and I sent her another tape, and she was thrilled. She's like, you listen to me more than my own employees, that I took her advice. And that's what every program director wants. They want you to listen to what they say. I mean, any boss in any job wants that. I always tell people, don't let no be no. No only means no for now. Even at the mix, I was turned down at first. The Loop, actually every single job I've ever had, I've been initially turned down. So it doesn't even faze me anymore. It bums me out because I'd rather have the job when I want it, but, you can't, timing isn't always right. So as long as you've got a little bit of talent, actually maybe a lot of talent would be good, and persistence, you're good to go. That's why networking, like I always tell people this, like I heard Jill tell someone in her office earlier, do you have business cards? That's like so important, you have no idea. You may never need them, but that one time you're at something, could be a restaurant, could be anywhere, with somebody, hey, meet my friend, he works at so-and-so. Oh, do you have a card? Don't say no, which I just did when someone else asked me because it's in my card, but it's always, just have it. It can't hurt, and you can go online and get like a pack of 500 for $8 now. It's like not even that expensive. And don't underestimate what you do. It's always easier to find a job when you have a job. It's like the old saying. As long as you've got passion and persistence, those are like the two things that I know I have it, and I always see it in certain people. And actually, the fact that you guys are not talking to each other and looking at me, that makes me happy, because you must have it. And the fact that you're here, anyway, to begin with. I love that this place, when I got the tour when I first came here, has TV, radio, and web, because those overlap so much now, you have no idea. Like, that's the thing about getting all the experience under your belt before you actually get a real job. This is where you should be uncomfortable and making mistakes and learning from them. And you'll still do that on your job too, but it's a lot better to do them here. Web can benefit you at TV and radio stations. I know more about radio, and I can tell you they love DJs that master the web and that are on social media and that have a presence. And another good thing about web and social media is your own job search, and that's any field, but especially this field, because when you think about it, broadcasting, we're in the business of advertising, because that's how they make revenue, and we're in the business of promoting, whether you're promoting yourself or doing promotions. So if you treat your job search like a job, which I highly recommend, it's really going to benefit you. You should have your own website. There's no question. Besides business cards, you can say, hey, you can find me at carriveau.com or whatever. An easier URL would be better because no one can spell Carriveau. But you should have something to prove for yourself to show that you're working. The more you can do, the better. In this economy, and it's not just radio; it's everywhere. They're always looking for people that can do a lot more than just that one, narrow job description. I don't know any DJ that just does on air and that's it. You're at least going to do some commercials. You're going to do some appearances, which again, your TV stuff would help because you've got on camera experience, so that they'll help you when you're in front of people. But you should have an image, whether it's clean cut and 9 to 5ish looking if you want that thing, or just a neat appearance. So a good attitude is really important. People always think that DJs have huge egos. I've worked with Mancow, I've worked with Kevin Matthews, Jonathan Brandmeier, I've worked with Steve Dahl, all the biggies in this town. I've actually never had an ego issue with anybody. Nobody wants to work with an idiot, No one wants to work with somebody who treats them crappy on the job. So try to treat people with respect, and, that's my other piece of advice. Because I don't know, sometimes I've come across interns that think that they should have an attitude just to prove themselves, and it seems odd to me. Like, I would never do that. It's always good to make a good impression and to keep in contact with people. That's the whole thing about networking. Networking is the number one thing, and that was number one back before there was such a thing as a social network, when people actually met people in person, shook hands, and passed out business cards. If you meet somebody, keep in contact. It's so easy now on Facebook. It's super easy. It's, hey, nice meeting you, blah, blah, blah. Hey, don't be annoying about it. Don't be stalkerish and sending messages every day. But, I still keep in contact with a lot of people that interned for me, actually. And it's fun, actually, kind of seeing them, progress, because a lot of them are really huge now. And it's all about image, too. Like, radio stations want the image of their jocks a certain way. I always ask before I do anything. Like, before I spoke here, you guys don't mind if I speak here, do you? No. If somebody asks me to host an event that's not radio-related, maybe it's charity-related, I still ask them. Like, hey, I got asked to do this. You don't mind if I do it, do you? It's charity, blah, blah, blah. Like, I want them knowing what I'm doing, because I would hate to do something and they go, hey, we didn't want you doing that. That's not part of our thing. You can own a URL for $8. why not get your name before someone else does, or whatever name you want? Even if you're not ready to make the site yet, at least get the URL. Who wants to work overnights? You know what's great about overnights? You at least have a paycheck coming in, and your free days to interview for the job you really want. And you can say, I've got this job, you know, and you're instantly more desirable. The best thing you can do is like really prepare for an interview, write down a bunch of questions, look at that card, ask that first question, and then listen to the answer and go from there, like you would in a real conversation. I like how you guys have access to your equipment for a year too. That's key, because you're going to need to make demos and stuff. It's awesome. But a little bit of nerves is good. A lot of nerves where you can't open up your throat, not so good. But if you can get really good at production, that's key too, because you're going to have to make a demo, no matter what you're doing, whether it's TV, you know, even if not the one actually physically doing it, if someone else is helping you, if you understand the process and go, hey, can you cut that? Can you fade this? Can you, you know, it'll help you. Probably on your job you'll have to do it anyway, but like I said, if you treat your job search like a job, you're definitely ahead of the game. Like I know you guys have job placement here, which is awesome, but you know, follow up. Don't just expect them to get you a job. You should be able to handle that.